What if the wildest predictions about K-pop Demon Hunters are actually true? And what if the clues we already saw tell us exactly what will happen in part 2? Watch till the end to be the first to find out all the theories that might actually be true, backed by facts you can't deny. Some of these details you might have missed before, but once you hear them, you cannot unsee them. So let's break down the biggest theories and see which ones hold real weight. The first theory is about Mira herself. Many viewers started to wonder if Mira might secretly be a demon. At first it sounds far-fetched, but the clues are right in front of us. We know demons in the story always show their identity through colored hair. The Saja boys are the perfect example. Humans, on the other hand, have black hair and dark eyes, and that has to be the #1 difference. Now take a look at this. Every previous hunter generation shown in the movie had black hair. From the group of huntrix, we know that Rumi has a demon side, which is supported by her appearance with purple hair. But Zoey and Mira are so far considered humans. With Zoey there are no issues, since she has black hair just like all people. But why does Mira stand out with her bright colored hair? Some say she dyed it and there is no mystery behind it, but take a look at her childhood photos. At a young age she was already spotted with bright colored hair growing from the roots, which destroys the theory of coloring it later as an adult. And how about a few more details? While outside, Mira is the only one dressed very lightly, while Zoey and Rumi are dressed warmly. This could hint at her ability to not feel cold like other people do. And when she comes to visit Rumi's room, she notices the tiger cat. It's clearly visible from her frozen reaction. But she doesn't say a word to Rumi, most likely not to show that she can see them too. So, could this mean that Mira is one of the demons, or is there another explanation? While this theory feels weak, the detail about Mira at the end of the video will totally change your opinion, so be sure not to miss it. Besides K-pop Demon Hunters Part 1, focusing mostly on Rumi's story, Part 2 might reveal something no one expects. We know that Rumi's patterns became one of the most important parts of the story. But what if the truth is not what we think? From the start, people thought her demon markings came from her father because he was also a demon. But something seems wrong. The rules of the movie tell us demons are not born. They are created when Guima marks humans who feel shame after making a deal with him. That means Rumi should not have been born with markings at all. Yet we see that she had them already as a child. Could it mean that the marks didn't pass down to her from her father? What if they appeared because of her own feelings in her childhood? Just look at this. Rumi lost her mother and her father disappeared. She could have blamed herself for both, and that deep shame may have created the patterns. Then Celine taught her to hide them and lie to her friends, making the shame even worse. So the patterns may not come from her father at all, but from her own hidden pain. Comment below your predictions about Rumi's true backstory in this second part of K-pop Demon Hunters. Watching Part 1, you would never think that someone who looks good from the beginning could actually be hiding a dark truth inside. The true role of Celine brings up another big question for Part 2. There's a real chance the Huntrix will confront her directly, and there are reasons to think so. Think about it. Celine was close to Rumi her whole life, but at the end of the movie when Rumi accepts her demon side and rejects lying, Celine looks scared. She had always tried to control Rumi, but in that moment she lost it completely. After Rumi reunited with her friends and protected Hanmoon, the story showed a happy ending. Yet Celine never appeared again, not even to show if she supported Rumi's choice. That disappearance could mean something terrifying. After all, none of this would have happened if she had not told Rumi to keep her patterns hidden. Celine pushed the idea of perfection, forcing Rumi to carry doubt and fear instead of opening up to her friends. Rumi even said out loud, maybe they'll understand, but Celine shut her down instantly. That choice allowed Guima to take control because sadness and fear are the keys he uses. So could her actions against Rumi be part of a more dangerous plan? What if she tried to control Rumi because she knew this was how Guima could reach the human world? Be sure to share your versions in the comments. But Rumi herself may have a bigger role ahead. In the flashbacks we saw, every generation of hunters always had one member with special markings on their cloth. In the first trio it was the girl in the middle. In another flashback it was the green-clothed hunter. Later it was Celine at the center. These markings can mean that this exact hunter is chosen to pass the knowledge of how to fight demons to the next hunter's generation. That is why Celine was the one who taught Huntrix. But now in the group it is Rumi who has the markings. After she accepted herself, her markings spread across her body, which may also hint that she is chosen like the others before her. That can mean she is the next in line to train future hunters, unless the Huntrix can lock demons away forever. Although it seems too early for the next hunter's generation. Do you agree that these details cannot be just a coincidence? The past of Rumi's parents may also become a central point in the second part of K-pop Demon Hunters, and the truth of how her mother died may be shocking. We know that hunters normally cannot take souls, not even when given freely. But Rumi was able to accept Jinu's soul in her sword, which means she is different. Souls are incredibly powerful powerful when given willingly, and this gave Rumi strength against Guima. Even her look changed right away from demon to normal when Jinu sacrificed himself. That makes us wonder how her mother really died. What if Rumi's mother gave her soul to Rumi's father in an attempt to save him? Just the same way Jinu saved Rumi by protecting her from the Guima fire. If that is true, there is a chance that Rumi's mother could return. And if souls given freely can be brought back, it means Jinu could also return in part 2. Celine herself can hide even darker secrets. Some say she could kill Rumi's mother Rumi Yang, and that is why she spends so much time in the graveyard. Her warning to Rumi at a young age about hiding patterns might actually come from her own past mistakes. Maybe she was hiding from her own guilt. If this is true, this could change everything we know about her role as a leader. But the most exciting theories of Kpop Demon Hunters Part 2 are connected with Zoey and Mira. At the beginning of the video, it was highlighted that Mira might be a demon hiding her true nature. But another theory says Mira is not a demon at all, but may actually be adopted. As mentioned before, almost all humans in the movie keep natural black hair. Mira is the exception, and her pink hair was there even when she was very young. In family photo where she looks about 5 years old, she is wearing the same formal clothes as everyone else, but her hair is already pink. This strict style of clothing shows that her family was very conservative. So would strict parents really let such a small child dye hair like that? It seems unlikely, and the process would be very hard for a child anyway. This detail hints that maybe Mira's hair was natural, passed down from biological parents who were different from the family who raised her. That could explain why she never fully fit in, and why her adoptive parents were so strict, perhaps to keep her true origin hidden. But which story makes more sense to you, demon or adoption? Comment below because this one could go either way. And what about Zoey? One theory says she might actually be Jinu's sister. But before you criticize this idea, look at the facts. She looks very similar to the girl from Jinu's memories. They both have black hair, which is rare in their world, since most people are either hunters or demons. At the end, Zoey wears a hoodie with a print of Derby the tiger. Recall that Derby is the spirit guide for Jinu and appears only by his side. So how can Zoey wear a hoodie with that print when in the story she never even met Derby and should not know anything about him? So now the big question is this: which of all these predictions will part to actually confirm? Will Mira's true identity finally be revealed? Will Rumi step fully into the role of the next trainer? Will Celine's secrets come out? Or will Zoey and Jinu's connection be real? Each of these theories has pieces of proof inside the movie, and the second part could use any of them to push the story forward. Which theory do you think is the most likely to come true? Be sure to share in the comments. And if you want to get a glimpse of the events in Kpop Demon Hunters Part 2, be sure to watch the next video. It will surprise you with even more details you never expected.